Okay, we are live.
Yes, we are live. Great. So, hello everyone. Faiza Yusuf here, and kind of very sudden plan to answer your questions about freelancing. So, I posted on my social media a few days ago that what are the common questions or fears around freelancing, and if there's anything that we can do to help. So, we received like nearly 100 questions about that, and Hafsa kindly agreed to answer a few questions. I'm sure we can't do all of them, but we'll try to go through as many questions as we can. Hafsa is going to introduce herself, and then I'm going to put questions forward, and she's going to respond. So over to you, Hafsa.
Thank you so much, Faiza, for having me here, first of all, because I could see there were a lot of questions. And since I also do freelance content development trainings, I could see there were so many common questions that our audience wanted to be answered. So, about me, I've been doing freelancing for almost a decade now. I am a content creator, and now I am also training and coaching marketers for social media content creation and SEOs and everything related to that, and also how our women can develop content writing skills to start their freelancing career. I know we have a lot of options when it comes to freelancing, from development to designing and data entry, simple as that. But because my expertise lies more in content creation, so I am not only telling them how they can start their career, but also giving them, trying to give them a skill, equip them with the skill as well, what they can adopt when they enter the freelancing career. So this is about me.
Right. So I can see that there are some specific questions about freelancing platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. So would you like to answer them, or should we just keep it about general discussion, because platform specific questions require like a lot of experience around that platform. So do you have experience with Fiverr and Upwork as well?
Okay, so I've been working on Upwork and freelancer.com. With Fiverr, I am not working with Fiverr, so I don't have a lot of experience with Fiverr. And I also have clients through Facebook, which I would really like to tap into, because many of us think कि या तो सिर्फ platform है या तो सिर्फ Facebook है, और scamming दोनों जगह होती है. So I think we'll pick these.
Okay, sounds good. So the first question is that a lot of people are confused about picking a starting point, and how do they kind of engage with with a potential client to get some kind of project.
Okay, so before you start pitching a client, it is very important for us to understand what are we pitching for. बहुत दफा we want to start the career, but we ourselves are clueless कि हमने चीज कौन सी choose की है, what are we going to offer to the client. Now, it is not possible that anything that comes to you, you will be able to do that. You need to establish yourself, the learning, the experience, the expertise in what you are going to offer. So the first step I'd say is to understand and see what you can do best, and then also do a bit of research. For example, when it comes to content writing, it is very important for us to know what is plagiarism, and not just in content, but I think in everything. So you should know at least do some research and know if you're good at it, and then start looking for clients in that particular area. And before you put your offer in front of the client, read and reread what client is asking for. Do not just start writing about yourself, your experience. Even those freelancers who have a lot of experience, I'd say 5 years, 7 years, I also recommend them as well. If you want to land more clients and stand out into the competition, they should be not writing about themselves all the time, but listening to what the potential client has to say and catering to that.
Right. So when it comes to picking up a starting point, what do you think will be the starting point? Them creating a profile somewhere, them trying to build a portfolio, them kind of identifying what services they want to sell. What do you think is the starting point, and how can they go about building whatever you think is the starting point?
Okay, so as a starting point, again, just like I mentioned, identifying what you're going to offer. And once you identify that, then comes the research. Before you start your profile on these platforms or on Facebook or anywhere, I'd say, again, by research, I mean, see what's going around, see what people are doing. and then you get a better idea even when you're creating a profile. Again, I'd say to start with, I preferably see personally see freelancer.com as one of the best one, because here you don't need to go through a lot of processes of approval and everything. You can instantly get registered over there. You need to verify yourself, and when you do that, make sure कि आप अपनी जो है your जो भी आपकी वेरिफिकेशन है, आइडेंटिटी है, बैंक डिटेल्स है, whatever, you get it verified, your contact number, your social profiles. uh, this is safe with freelancer, and because many of us, when we are starting off, we have this fear कि पता नहीं details देनी चाहिए कि नहीं. But I'd say कि complete your profile on these platforms, because when you complete your profile and verify it, you have more chances to get to the project. So one thing, yeah, you need to have a profile. If you also have a personal, portfolio or a CV. But again, when we talk about people who are starting off, they also have this question: "हमारे पास, you don't have a, you don't have a resume or a samples or anything like that. What are we going to offer?" So I think yes, for that, again, research, and if you could do some pro bono work to show your potential clients, that would be awesome.
Okay. So next question was similar, that they don't know where to start. You have already answered that. So a lot of people are facing this issue with Upwork, that when they create a new profile, the profile does not get approved. So do you have any advice for that?
I think this is a very common problem जो आजकल है, and I honestly suggest कि I understand that Upwork is a very good platform and we do get a lot of legit clients over there. But again, because we do have problems, especially in parts of Asia, to get our accounts approved with Upwork, especially in the field that we have a lot of the skills like content creation and designer, because these are most common skills. So isme account approved nahi hota, and if you go for other ways, that will not last long term. So I'd suggest कि अगर आपका proper channel से होता है account approved, if you are a developer or you have some technical expertise, then you should choose this platform, because we have more chances to get it approved rather than as a content writer or a graphic designer. बट अगर नहीं होता, तो इधर उधर टेंशन वो करने से कि कोई किसी तरह, बिकॉज यू विल सी अ लॉट ऑफ जुगाड़ ऑल्सो ऑन फेसबुक कि मैं अप्रूव करा दूंगा मैं, तो डोंट गो फॉर दैट. Instead, get the right route, go to freelancer, go to Fiverr, and work on that.
Right. So the next question is about is from someone who wants to start as a content writer. So
Okay.
is there any specific platforms for content writing? Because I've heard a couple of names that these communities or these platforms have more writing, creative writing jobs. So do you recommend any such platform?
I see there are a lot of platforms. If she is referring to social media, if we have like freelancing platforms like freelancer.com, they have numerous jobs in content writing as well. Then we have other like writerbay.com. We have several websites. And if we come to social media, yes, we do have platforms like social media groups where you do get a lot of work, and sometimes you do get a good rate as well. But again, I'd say wherever you are working, I cannot personally recommend a particular group, because you have a diversified, uh, you know, um, uh, 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 audience over there. And again, I cannot say कि 100% ये group सही है. You have to do your own research when you are having a transaction in the group, or you are, dealing with a client. You need to research. You need to see how authentic he is, what is his profile, what is his work history. So that way you'll be able to get uh, into a better with a better client.
Right. So next question is about payment options. So what payment options are available, and how can people get paid if the client is not in Pakistan?
There are a number of payment options I personally prefer and use, and I've been using like Payoneer for almost 8 years, and I've never faced difficulty with that. With clients outside Pakistan, you can easily bill them. You can send a payment request to them, and you can get it here. With Payoneer, it's easy to withdraw. You can also withdraw to your bank account through ATM, and it also works online everywhere. So my personal recommendation has always been PayPal. And if you're outside Pakistan, or someone you know is outside Pakistan and can do PayPal for you, so PayPal is also great.
Right, but PayPal is not available for
Pakistan.
locals here, right? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you use Payoneer and you think it's a good enough platform for people to get
Yeah,
paid here.
yeah.
Right. So someone has asked that how do I convert my experience or my knowledge into skills that can be monetized? How do I think about whatever I know in terms of a service or a product that I can sell?
Okay, so what I understand from this question, for example, you need to expand uh, it as a business, not just as a freelancer. Am I correct? I mean, maybe
Yeah.
because when we are writing, so most of the time it happens if there's a freelancer, तो वो he is doing everything himself और वो उसी stage पे रह जाता है. So from what I understand this question, you can work towards building a team. You can work towards working as a freelancer, getting more clients, and building a business out of it, building teams out of it, managing them. So you'll be able to monetize what you know better. As a freelancer, you're still monetizing what you know. And also, again, just like if I look at myself from my personal experience and example, because I have been into content writing, now I also offer courses in coaching. So this is another, channel where I can monetize my skills.
Right. So a lot of people have this fear of not getting consistent income or not getting work consistently. So what do you have to say about it? Are you able to get work consistently, and are you busy like the whole year? How do you do that?
Okay, so again, I'd say up. You don't need to don't focus on one platform at a time. Establish multiple streams for getting work. Just like I mentioned कि not just it's freelancer, तो एक बहुत ही common है. Work हो writer पे हो गया, Upwork हो गया, Fiverr हो गया. There are numerous other people पर इतने सारे हैं. You should be present everywhere. And then through networking, when you build your profiles around what you are on LinkedIn and on Facebook, then you also open up a new stream for revenue for yourself. So be everywhere. This way, you will ensure consistency. I not said that 100% consistency hogi, but yeah, you will be trying your best to be consistent, and you might land up with some long-term clients जो 4 4 साल 8 8 साल आपके साथ काम कर रहे होते हैं.
Right. So, do you have any specific tips for fraud prevention that you do not kind of run into a shady client? How do you kind of make sure that the client is okay to work with?
Okay, so when you talk about platforms, again, we need to see कि client की work history क्या है, reviews क्या हैं, payment method verified है कि नहीं है, if he is a new client or not. So all these metrics are available on a freelancer employer profile that you can look for before you start. And even if you see that the profile is complete and is verified, before you start, again, milestone is very important. You should not go out of freelancer immediately with your first client or second attempt. Stay there because there you ensure your transaction is secured and you ensure your payments. Outside these platforms, again, I do a thorough research when I am working with clients outside these platforms. I go to their profile, I go through the LinkedIn, I see if they are legit, if the company name they've mentioned, I open the website, I see the contact details. I do research before I even pitch them, or if they are approaching me, I do my research. So I think this gives a lot of the first thing, because recently, because I was doing my course, one of my participant came up and she sent me this screenshot जिसमें उसकी identity नहीं थी. The person had a name, some vague name, and also the profile picture was not authentic. So the comment below that picture, the user had posted something like you know identity का क्या करना है, काम से मतलब होना चाहिए या पैसों से, something like that. So I told her not to go for it. A person who cannot even show his identity to you looks shady. So this is how we prevent fraud.
Right. Um, some people have asked about working as a QA. I don't think that's something that I should ask you. Um, Next question is about I need ideas for doing something that does not require specific IT skills or some kind of IT qualification. So, other than content, what other kind of work that you think people can do online?
they can do. We have a lot of data entry tasks. We have a task where you require to maybe format particular documents, convert them to PDF to Word documents. When you explore this world, you will have a lot of things that you can do. Data entry is most common where you do not require any expertise.
Right. So next question is that how do you manage your time? And the person is saying that they are scared that they won't be able to manage their time effectively when getting work from freelance clients.
To be honest, I don't think I managed my time effectively. But yeah,
Same boat.
I I think since I have started writing down my daily tasks and crossing them out, I've been a bit more productive. So you need to prioritize what you need to do, and yes, let go of procrastination, because this is something that most of freelancers do कि ये काम रात को होगा, आराम से करेंगे, late night करेंगे, ये चीज़ होती है. So I think you should prioritize. I don't think there's any other way because I don't know any other way that you can manage your time very effectively, because you do get ad hoc requests, you do get urgent revisions, you do get some requests that you need to attend to immediately as well. Otherwise, you can convey to your client, communicate to him that these are your timings that you work in, and after 5 o'clock or after 8 o'clock, you don't reply at all or you don't work at all. This is how you can ensure your time management.
Right. So another question is that how do you kind of get long-term sustainability while working as a freelancer? So what long-term plans should be there, and how do you approach a long-term career in freelancing? Not just doing it for some time and just leaving it, but building a career out of it like you have done.
Building a career, again, grow as a team. Do not just do it yourself. When you think you are at a point where you are proficient and more effective and know what you're doing, you can start hiring more people, so that you have more work. You hire, you run a team, you manage a team. That is the way you can I'd say, have it in a long term, because I see a lot of people who are working from offices, and this is the sole thing that they are doing, so they have managed it. Again, getting the long term client, I'd really like to mention here कि long term client ऐसे walk करते हुए नहीं आता. Here we need to be very careful, because I've seen with a lot of people, they do not follow instructions. Instructions उनको पूरी लिख के भी दी जाएंगी, they don't follow. Their work attitude is not such. They do not accept criticism. They are not ready to improve. So this is more about mindset. You should be ready to improve. You should be always ready to uh, ready for a feedback and receive criticism, and be looking forward to learn. वो जो attitude with the client होता है ना, that matters, and that makes your client stick with you in the long term.
Right. So next question is that acha, this again question is about the fear of doing it all alone. We have already answered that. So another person wants to know that how to overcome the fear of improper cost estimation, and how do we avoid underselling yourself as a freelancer?
Okay, the first question, the fear of getting started. Yeah, this fear, which I see a lot of women coming up to me with saying कि अगर गलत कर दिया तो क्या होगा, आता नहीं है, समझ नहीं आया. And this is something, it might sound a bit awkward, but I think this is the truth. I tell them, okay, what is the worst that could happen? ठीक है, you don't know, and you think that you can do it, but you are not confident enough, and you cannot pitch yourself. Do it. What is the worst that somebody can do? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्क्रीन पे 2-3 वर्ड्स आ जाएंगे और डांट सुन लेंगे. What is the worst? There is no worst. So I think this has given them a lot of confidence कि ठीक है, I mean, what can happen? कुछ भी, मतलब in freelancing, when you start doing it, I personally see there's no worst that can happen. So you should not be hesitant to take a risk. Take this risk, go ahead and do it. Once you do it, you come out of this fear. Because बहुत ज्यादा ये होता है कि गलत कर दिया तो, and I tell you, गलत कर दिया तो क्या हुआ, बहुत सारे लोग गलत कर देते हैं. Come back, accept your mistake, learn from it, and go it. And the next question was, what was the next question?
About cost estimation. How do you estimate the cost of the work?
Again, you should see what is the average rate that is in the market, and not just the average rate, what is the deliverable against that average rate. सिर्फ ये नहीं देखना कि राइटिंग के इतने पैसे चल रहे हैं, एसईओ के इतने पैसे चल रहे हैं, डिजाइनिंग के इतने, डेवलपमेंट के इतने, बट व्हाट इज द आउटकम आल्सो. एंड यू कैन डू दैट very effectively in Facebook groups where people are offering, and not just local Facebook groups. You will find a lot of international Facebook groups as well, where you can actually see that what you are delivering or what any freelancer is delivering, uski international market mein kya value hai, local market mein kya value hai. So I think by looking at the deliverable against the price, you will be able to set a better price for yourself, because आपने ये भी तो देखना ना कि आप oversell भी नहीं कर रहे और undersell भी नहीं कर रहे. Your work quality should be such for what you are asking for.
Right. And if someone is starting out new, do you think decreasing their rate is a good idea, or working for free is a good idea?
I don't think, because if I talk about niche specific in terms of content, I tell them, I've told my participants कि एक ये average rate है, this should be minimum. ये मिनिमम रेट है कि इससे आपने जो है वो स्टार्ट करना है, इससे कम जो होगा वो अंडर सेलिंग में आ जाएगा. एंड उसके बाद जो व्हाट डिड यू जस्ट, एक तो आपने सेलिंग का पूछा, और सॉरी आई मिस दैट पॉइंट.
हाँ, दूसरी बात ये है कि अगर कोई नया स्टार्ट कर रहा है, so how do they make, so do you think it's a
Free
good
sign.
idea if they do it for free?
See, I don't think it's a good idea to do it for free. What you can do is that you can communicate to your client, okay, this is what I can do, and you can send your work in drafts to them. Either you are developing, either you are designing, or either you are writing. Send them in chunks and look at the feedback and ask them for the feedback. And if you think it is good enough and the client thinks this is good enough, so the way will be there, you will be able to proceed. Yeah, for free, I'd say कि उन reputable magazines, because again I am more working with content, so I have more examples with that. कि अगर reputable magazines where you have an opportunity to publish your work, that will be a great opportunity for free, even because that will ultimately build your portfolio. So you need to see what you are giving for free, and again, it is not for free. You must be getting something out of it. Again, in this case, you will be getting credibility and something on your portfolio when you write for credible magazines or websites. And again, if you're working with a client, I'd say, for example, in terms of content or even in designing, you can give them an idea, and if it is content, you can submit them a few hundred words first and then get the feedback. So that way, आपकी effort भी waste नहीं जाएगी, or client will be able to see if this is what he is expecting from you.
Right. And if someone is in a full-time role and they want to transition into freelance work, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it can make sense for them financially?
I think it can, but I would not suggest them to jump into this all of a sudden. Transition, but slowly. Build that business before you let go of that one or let go of your job, because freelancing can be a side hustle once you start doing it, and once you see what is the ROI you're getting in terms of time and everything that you're investing, then gradually you can transition into this, but not all of a sudden.
Right. And how often do you think you should communicate with your clients, and what should be the mode of communication? And do you think using WhatsApp for work related queries is a good idea?
I always prefer emails. The reason why, because there you have everything in written form and you can always refer back to it. Because many at times ये problem आ जाती है कि ये requirement आई थी कि नहीं आई थी, ये communication हुई थी. But when you have this in email, for the client and for you, you have a written evidence that you can refer back to. Okay, this is what have been asked from me and this is what I have delivered. And many at times, clients do feel comfortable with WhatsApp as well. I do use WhatsApp, but again, I try to ensure that every important detail which is related to the requirement and deliverable is also on email and acknowledged by the client, so that there is a written evidence.
Right. Another question is about creating packages for services. So, have you created any packages for the services that you offer, and what are the best practices around creating a service package?
Service package, again, it depends on what skills you have and what services you are selling. And again, there should be, if I talk generally, your package should have something that adds value, the main thing that you are offering, and something that gives an add-on advantage. वो ऐसा ना हो कि सब कुछ एक ही पैकेज में चला जाए, but I'd rather rank them in number one, number two, number three, the most important thing that will be of value to client, and then something less important, and something that will drive client to you. For example, if you are writing 1,000 words for a client and you're creating the package, then maybe you can add 2 revisions and just highlight them. This is the package, and maybe you can also publish it for them. So publishing it for them adds value, and giving 2 revisions. I think giving 2 revisions, it's just writing 2 revisions whatsoever, because ultimately you do get revisions and you have to do it. Either you write it or not. So something around this where there's a main deliverable, something add on, and something just to highlight. Although I think this is already there. This is what I think, because personally I've not created a lot of packages with my clients.
So for someone who's starting out their freelance career in writing and they do not have a portfolio, how do you suggest they build a portfolio?
Again, by writing, by not just, again, just like we shared, you're writing for credible magazines or websites. The first thing, and also if you're pitching a client and you can write well, again, you can offer your client that the first initial 300 words or 500 words I'll be sending you for free. If you like this, then I'm going to continue with the project that you have. So this way, I think you will be secure, and this way you will be building on your portfolio. Once you will be doing it this way, you're not even doing it for free, you are charging also, and you are simultaneously building your portfolio. So you'll have more samples, because any client will ask samples, and then you have more companies on your portfolio as well when you work with companies.
Right. So there are again a lot of questions about quality assurance, a lot of questions about portfolio that you have already answered, a lot of questions about starting, starting out as as someone who's interested in writing. So another question is about how to keep up with too many bossy people or too many clients. That's an
I think
interesting question.
yeah, it depends on your financial goals. How much you are able to take the behavior, how much you are able to stand the bossy behavior. um, for me, I think there are a few clients who take most of your time, energy, and the mood as well, and on paying you very well. I'd rather not work with them in future. But if I have a really bossy client and maybe he's giving me a very good rate that I might not be able to find very often, I'd rather stick with it. But again, I think communication is the key. Even if you have a bossy client, if you communicate openly, if you communicate honestly, if you communicate clearly, many problems are solved. This is what I personally think.
Right. So another question is, I know it's not like a question. I think yeah, it's a question. I know some skills, but I'm scared how people outside the Pakistan, outside the country, would treat me. Or is it? Or do you think it's possible for me to convince them to hire me?
Again, this is a very common fear. Even I have been in this fear. हमें लगता था कि ये जो गोरे हैं, ये लोग, हम इनके स्टैंडर्ड के नहीं हैं, हम इससे काम नहीं करा सकते, या ये हमें पता नहीं कहेंगे कि हमें तो इंग्लिश भी लिखनी नहीं आती. अगेन, सैडली, जो पाकिस्तान का इमेज या यहाँ पे जो जाता है ज़्यादातर क्वालिटी ऑफ वर्क, वो ऐसा बन गया है कि दिस इज देयर. बट आई टेल यू कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. वो हम ही ज़्यादा सोचते हैं उनके बारे में, वो हमारे बारे में इतना नहीं सोचते. यू जस्ट गो एंड टॉक टू देम. And the first thing that you should do, again, if you're on a freelancer, तो ये तो problem वहाँ पे तो है ही नहीं. If you're on these platforms, again, if you're outside these platforms on social media, I'd say build a relationship first. I'd say communicate with them. अगर आप कोई post पे आप comment कर रहे हैं, उनकी कोई post है, build a relationship with them. This way you will also be easy to talk to them and more comfortable. The client will also be easy and comfortable to talk to you. So work on building the relationship first by talking to them, having a communication, having a conversation. And also, it's very easy to invite them over a video call or a virtual meeting. This is something that we don't do very often. Maybe people are camera shy or think will not be able to deliver what is expected to them. But honestly speaking, they are not expecting us to speak 100% grammar free, grammar. Again, I am I'm doing that कि बिल्कुल error free English हो. और उसमें कोई मसला ना हो, तो दे आर नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस फ्रॉम अस. I mean, they are looking for the skills and expertise, and you should be pitching them because again, I feel they provide good value for your work.
Right. Definitely. I think most of them, because I've been working with people in the US for 10 years now, more than 10 years. So they don't expect you to be an expert in language.
Yeah.
If you are able to understand what they're saying and convey whatever is in your head, and you're doing a good job, they are okay with it. So this is a very specific women oriented question. So being a mother, I can give limited hours. I'm not sure with such a condition how easy or difficult would it be to start a career in freelancing. Also, there are very less people to guide someone who's just starting out.
um Again, I started as a mother. My son was maybe 2 years old when I started my career. Now mashallah he's 13 years old. So छोटे छोटे steps लें. It's not impossible. You will get the hang of it eventually. You will learn how to live with it. It's been 10 years और जिस दिन मैं काम नहीं करती, I feel myself कि मैं I lose my mind or something, because I have become used to it. I have managed it. This has become my lifestyle. So take baby steps. Start with one client, small projects. Then you will get the hang of it. You will start. This practice will make you um, qualify for this field. इसमें ऐसा कोई issue नहीं होगा if you are a mother. It's perfectly okay.
Right. Next question is that a lot of clients demand to do change requests or revisions without any cost. So how do we take care of that?
See, again, I again refer back to my previous comment that I made, to have everything written on email. अगर तो कोई बहुत ही अलग request है, जो बिल्कुल ही हटके एक नया task है, so you should communicate it to him. This is what we agreed on, and this is the new thing that you are asking me to do, and this is going to require this cost, and this is effort, this is time. So this should be treated as a new project or a new task. And if the revision is a minor revision or a small revision that would take you hardly maybe 30 minutes or so, I think stick with the client, build the relationship, add value, he will stick to you. तो इतनी छोटी छोटी बातों पे हम clients को नहीं छोड़ते if they are paying good. Even if they are not paying good, I mean, this is business ethics कि जो अगर revision आपसे कह रहा है और if it's justified, there is no harm in doing it. But again, जो चीज़ communicate नहीं हुई है बिल्कुल ही entirely different चीज़ है. And most of the cases, I've also noticed कि उसमें गलती राइटर की भी होती है और क्लाइंट उससे सही चीज़ करवा रहा होता है, वो उस पर भी करने को राजी नहीं होता कि नहीं मेरी गलती नहीं है, मैंने तो ठीक लगा है. सो we should be getting out of this attitude कि हमेशा मैं ठीक हूँ. You should listen to him, absorb what he is saying, listen to the feedback, and provide the revision or the request accordingly.
Right. So someone is asking that how to manage time for freelancing in parallel with a tough job. Why do you have to do that to yourself? Please don't do that to yourself.
Yeah,
Do you
people
have any?
think that when you're freelancing, you are your own boss, which is not very true. You are, but there's a lot of pressure that comes with it. So yeah.
I was talking to students at Habib University, I think yesterday, and or maybe day before yesterday. So I told them that it's not easy as people make it sound. The reason being because you are your own salesperson, marketing person, account manager, accountant.
Yeah,
You're doing everything on your own. So from creating invoices to reaching out to people and taking requirements,
absolutely.
it's very difficult. And
Yeah,
if you have that kind of handicap that you are not very good with learning, it will become very difficult for you because you will have to learn new things for every new
yeah.
client that comes to you. So
Bilkul.
that is really important. Um, okay, this is a technology specific question. Okay, how to overcome anxiety of not being able to deliver on time?
Why should not be able to deliver on time? I think you should be able to deliver in time. अगर ऐसा कोई चीज हो जाती है बीच में जिसमें यू थिंक कि आप डिलीवर नहीं कर पाएंगी टाइम में, अगेन आई से कम्युनिकेशन इज द बेस्ट टूल. टेल योर क्लाइंट एंड ऑनेस्टली टेल देम. खाला पुप्पी को बहुत दफा मार चुके हैं. ऑनेस्टली टेल देम दिस इज द रीजन दैट आई एम stuck in this, जो भी reason है, whatsoever, communicate it to them. And I tell you, being honest will work most of the time. It will. So when you're honest and you are actually telling you कि क्यों late हो गया या ये late हो जाएगा, telling them beforehand, not this attitude कि आज deadline है और आपने start ही आज किया है, वो definitely late होगा. या आज 12 बजे की या 2 बजे की deadline है and then you switch your phone off. This doesn't work. I mean, ठीक है, अगर एक चीज लेट हो रही है, communicate. I always tell my clients, and even when I'm working with writers and my colleagues, भाई कोई भी problem है बता दो, मतलब say it, communicate, इससे कुछ नहीं होगा. So I think this is also a fear कि अगर हम सच बोल देंगे तो वो भाग जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा. Then you also need to work on yourself, on your, again, just like I said, attitude with the client matters a lot. So yeah.
Right. Someone on so a lot of people are watching on Facebook. One of
Okay.
them asked that can you please repeat websites that offer freelance writing jobs? Can you
Okay.
name a
So
few platforms?
yeah, there
Repeat
are a
them.
lot of platforms. It's better that we write them in the comment, but if I repeat them, we have freelancer.com, we have upwork.com, we have peopleperhour.com, we have fiverr.com. You can look at Writerbay, and there are numerous others. When you will sit down and you will look at them, research, you'll find numerous others also. These are the most common ones.
Okay. So next question is clients only want people with high profiles and showy portfolios, which is understandable, but there must be some degree of trust for newer people trying to pave their way in, otherwise they won't grow from there. So again, this is more like a complaint than a question. And I think clients want to save their time. That's why they pick people who already have a established portfolio. What do you think?
Absolutely, I agree with you. But again, if we look at people who really want to grow, and because those people who have a Sparky portfolio also were at this stage before, I think you have a tool where you can prove yourself, which is again communication. I always tell them when you're pitching to client, do not talk about yourself, just we discussed in the beginning of the session. If you take genuine interest in the client's job description and provide him genuine advice and recommendation, he will understand that you know your work well. What we need to do and communicate is to let them know that even if I don't have this much portfolio, I know this, and this is how you communicate to when you are talking to them. You tell them that this is what I've seen, this is what I've analyzed, this is what, again, क्लाइंट से बात करते हुए अगर थोड़ा सा हम उसका आगा पीछा देख लेंगे वो काम क्या कर रहा है, क्या सी उसकी वेबसाइट कहाँ है, वो क्या चीज ढूंढ रहा है, उसका इंटरेस्ट क्या है, it will make a lot of difference when you're talking to the client. He'll feel connected, he'll know कि इस बंदी को पता है. So I understand this is an issue and this happens. Client आपको portfolio नहीं होगा तो दोबारा message भी नहीं करेगा. It happens. But again, where you have the opportunity, I'd say grab that opportunity and pitch yourself the best you can.
Right. So there are a few questions about would I be able to sustain as a full-time freelancer after leaving my job, or will I get enough projects to earn as I'm earning right now, or can I get clients that sustain? So similar questions, and what do you think about it?
I think there's no definite answer to it. Some people do and some people do not. Again, it depends on your goal. What is your end goal? If you are starting the freelance career to again as a full time and you're not doing any job, so your goal and your mindset will be doing a business. Then you will not be doing it as a side hustle. So when you keep this in mind, everything that you do, every strategy that you implement will be according to that goal. So it is possible also, and it is not possible also. Again, I'd say it depends on you. If I talk about myself and the people around me when I started, they are still in this field and it's been 10 years and we are doing it and we are sustaining it. And yeah.
Right. Next question is what skill should I learn that will give me more clients? So, what kind of, I think they want to know what kind of work they'll see more on freelance markets. So, do you have any answer for that?
Okay, the kind of work you will see on freelance market versus the kind of work you want to do. I'd suggest don't go for the type of work you will find a lot in the freelance market, but do something that interests you, that motivates you, that gives you some sort of pleasure, or you have this instinct to learn more in that field. This way you will be able to sustain that niche better. अगर किसी को लिखना नहीं पसंद और सिर्फ इसलिए कि क्लाइंट्स बहुत ज़्यादा आपके पास राइटिंग जॉब्स हैं वो करता है, तो वो उसमें एक्सेल नहीं कर पाएगा कभी भी। वो आउट ऑफ फ्रस्ट्रेशन वो काम करेगा, वो अपना 100% नहीं दे पाएगा। जिसको डिजाइनिंग में इंटरेस्ट है, जिसका जो चीज़ में इंटरेस्ट है, आई थिंक यू शुड एक्सप्लोर योर सेल्फ एंड सी where your motivation lies and then pick that. It might take some time, to learn that as well, but pursuing that path will again give you consistency or and more opportunities, because you will be happily doing that.
Right. Next question is, my concern is regarding finding gigs outside my community. I've always wanted to offer my insights in marketing consulting to startups, but I end up sticking to my in group only. I think they want to expand and they are unable to do so in newer circles. So how would you approach that?
Okay, before I answer this, I want to take the point that we were talking ke do what you like. इसको गलत मान लीजिएगा, because even when you do what you like, you will not always happily doing that. There will be times of frustration, there will be times of stress. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं जो करती हूँ मैं हमेशा बहुत ही enjoy करके कर रही होती हूँ, but I do have my phases as well. So you need to keep in mind. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो freelancers होते हैं जो they do what they want and they're living living a life of dreams, but उसमें भी phases आते हैं. But again, when you do that, you get a sense of satisfaction. This is what I mean when I say choose what you are motivated to do. Coming to this question that you want to expand outside of this community, I think this is a question from Nida. Fahad, because I read this and she has also discussed it with me several times, I'd suggest, again, I don't know why, but I'm going to go back to pitching. When it comes to what she is doing, she has been able to connect very well with her community. What she talks about, what she promotes, what her profile looks like, this is all connected to our local audience. To approach the international market, we need to again study the audience before we approach them, see what they need, where they stand, what are their interests, how can we connect to them. Then again, building on relationships. When you go to these groups, for example, Female Digital Nomad is a wonderful group. When you go to these groups and see an opportunity, again, for example, I'd say in Nida ka, if it is like storytelling mein hai, so before she pitches that to the client, she needs to understand the culture where the client belongs to. Because हम जो यहाँ पे apply करते हैं cannot be applied there. It is handy with every skill that we are working on. For example, अगर हम Facebook ads की भी बात करते हैं, because I run Facebook ads, तो locally जिस strategy से हम run करते हैं for international clients, वो locally नहीं कर सकते because of the budget and the amount of impatient the patience they have. They are very impatient. They need to see the results. आज run किया ad, कल sale आनी शुरू हो जाए. तो ये approach की difference है, I'd say. तो ये चीज को अगर आप स्टडी करें, थोड़ा सा अपने आप को टाइम दें, उस ग्रुप में हैंग आउट करें, देखें कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या बातें हो रही हैं, so you will be able to better grasp that clientele. Again, I don't think she is referring to the freelancing platform, because she do not want to do this thing. I'm saying this because we have had a personal conversation on this as well, so I'm trying to be more specific in answering her question.
Right. So there is another question, but I'm not sure if I've understood it.
Okay.
I'm going to read it out anyway. If you are able to understand it, please go ahead and answer it. So, how to keep a running in one and balancing new startup? Running in one and balancing new startup. I am not sure I've understood it, but
Maybe she means running a business already and then balancing a new thing as well. Just like we've had a few questions ke job bhi hai, and then we also have this freelancing career. Again,
maybe.
balancing both of them, you need to see how much time you're investing in one startup and what is the ROI of that, and then how much time you're and money and whatever you're investing in the other startup and what is the ROI on that. So I think balancing तो इसी तरह मुमकिन है when you look at the numbers. अगर आपने दोनों को बैलेंस करना है कि किस में ज़्यादा टाइम देना है, किस में कम करना है, यू नीड टू लुक एट द नंबर्स. और वैसे ही अगर आपने अपनी टाइम मैनेजमेंट के हवाले से करना है, सो अगेन what gives you best results, I think you should give more time to that. I'm not a time management you know a consultant or a coach, but this is what I can say from my experience.
Right. Um, Next question, and this is the last question. How
Okay.
to set milestones and payment workflows while working on a big project?
Okay. When you are working on these platforms like Freelancer and other platforms, you have options. You can set uh, milestone and break up the task in milestone. For example, when you are developing a website, um, once you finalize the design, you uh, assign it as a task and then assign a milestone to it. Then once you start working on content, you assign a task to it and assign a milestone. You can break your large project into smaller projects and then divide the cost on those, according to that, divide the cost into the smaller projects. This is how you can do, I mean, on these platforms as well and outside these platforms as well.
Right. So, do you prefer working with milestones, or do
Yes,
you do
I
you prefer to take all of
uh,
it in one go?
when I am working on the platforms, yeah, I prefer milestones. And sometimes when again when this is there's a large project, more than $1,000 or $700, then I prefer to have it broken into smaller projects so that it makes things more easier and manageable, I feel. And outside these platforms also, you can again break your project into smaller chunks. And outside these platforms, I have never worked in full advance payment with full advance payment unless and until I've had a very bad experience with a client and I know him and he's coming back to me again. Only then I ask for a full payment. Otherwise, because I think it is important for the client to trust you as well and make him comfortable as well, all in one go wo bhi dene mein they are hesitant.
Right. Okay. So I'm done with all the questions that we had in the list, and a lot of them were similar, so we skipped them. Uh, are there anything else that you want to say? Any other advice that you have, and then we'll say good night.
Yeah, I'll repeat what I've just said in this whole session that we've just did. Uh, Take the risk. I mean, there's nothing worse that could happen because बहुत सारे जो मैंने देखा है women are stopping themselves because they are in some kind of fear कि नहीं होगा हमसे अच्छा नहीं होगा वो मानेगा नहीं उसको कैसे बोलूं. Just go ahead and do it and see what happens. There's nothing that could go wrong. कितना wrong हो जाएगा. And I tell them, अभी मैंने recently किसी को बोलती मैंने कहा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा. Client दो चार दफा बुरा भला बोलेगा, स्क्रीन पे आएगा, चैप्टर क्लोज, दैट्स इट. इसमें तो कोई घर आके मार भी नहीं रहा, कोई ऑफिस में आपकी बेइज्जती नहीं हो रही चार लोगों के सामने. चिल. मतलब जस्ट जस्ट just do it. एक दफा करेंगे, you will come out of this fear. So everyone who is watching me and has been thinking to start their career in freelancing for like 2 years 3 years अब तक कर नहीं पाए, do it. कैसे करना है? Again, get your portfolios ready, the profiles ready on the freelancing platforms, and explore these social media groups and see what's happening. Listen what people are saying. Read comments. See how clients are responding. See how writers are responding. How other freelancers are responding. You will be able to get a better idea this way. And again, प्रोफाइल में बहुत सारे लोग अटक जाते हैं, यहाँ पे क्या सैंपल डालें, यहाँ पे क्या जो है डाल दें. मतलब हर चीज को बहुत 100% पे परफेक्ट करके फिल करना जरूरी नहीं है. जो अवेलेबल है वो डाल दें. स्टार्ट करें. You need to start.
Right. Um, Great. So I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Hafsa, for taking out the time and answering all the questions. I'm still seeing more questions coming on the original post that I did, and I'm seeing some questions on the Facebook live as well. But these are all the questions that we have already discussed,
All right.
so I don't think we have to repeat them. And we'll keep the video on the page as well, so that people can refer back to it, and you are
Yeah,
also able to share it. So thank you so much.
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Take care. Good night.
Take care.